Phantasy 6.5 was a plan to celebrate my 65th birthday by spending an entire canoe season on the water, more than 150 days, launching in May and taking out in October. The debilitating sciatica attack that forced my extraction from Phantasy 6.5 kept me homebound for most of July. Not wanting to tempt the fates, I opted to finish out the season with a scaled-back travel plan. After a few short test trips, I launched for a 2-week tour of Lake Temagami.
Here on my first solo overnight since my injury. If this goes well, I think I'll gear up and get back to Phantasy 6.5 next week. Here's to getting back on the water. So I did a couple of trips with other people. I did a trip with my son Matt on Lake Temagami, which had no portages. That went well. Paddling was okay. We did a hike. We hiked up to take a look at Porcupine Canyon. I used a pair of sticks, like trekking poles, while we did that hike, and it went pretty good too. No lasting after effects. So then the next trip I did a trip with Emily Ann and her brother Paul, and that trip involved one portage, and I did manage to tweak my hip right at the beginning of the first portage. Here we go. First portage since my injury. And I just re-injured myself unloading the boat. So this is not good already. Hurt for the rest of the day, but didn't seem to have really had any long-term impact. We went into Wasaksana Lake, through Iceland Lake into Driftwood Lake, and then paddled down into Wasaksana Lake. Spent the night on Wasaksana and then made our way back. Spent a night on Iceland Lake and then made our way out the third day. Beautiful trip. Great weather, except for the last morning. We had a little bit of rain the last morning, although we dodged the most of it because it didn't really settle in until we were within sight of the truck. I've got a bear nearby. He was making a lot of noise just back here. So I made a bit of noise myself, and I think I've got him moving. Last I heard he was sounded like he's moving off that way, but I'm gonna set off a flare, a banger, just to give him a good scare. That should put some fear in him. Oh. Life is good all over again. Nice. It's day 101, and I'm back on the water.
I launched a scaled-back Phantasy 6.5 around mid-August, and I had a loose plan to wander around Lake Temagami for a couple of weeks before heading down the Matabitchuan River to Lake Temagami.
Dump myself out of that. Oh, life is good. Beautiful day today. The wind kind of died down. I'm feeling a little lazy. This is the other side of Tamogami. Here's a piece of misguided advice. I think they've spelt that second word wrong. And as for the urinal that's 5 meters that way in the bush, let's just take a look at that. So the urinal comment clearly is directed at female of the species, who took it literally and came over here and used this area as a urinal. And apparently thought it was okay to leave clods of toilet paper around. Some tall pines. This is a beautiful evening. Absolutely spectacular. Calm like glass. Real nice.
A forecasted couple of days of foul weather prompted me to move to a better sheltered campsite. Little did I know that this would become the dominant theme for the second half of Phantasy 6.5.
Moved camp today. This is going to be a better location for, I got some weather moving in for a day or two. And I'm way better sheltered here. Fantastic view of the whole southwest arm.
Rocky, having breakfast. Hey, you having breakfast? Rookie. Squirrel. Very smooth.
A little soggy today. Rain came a little earlier than expected. Set up a couple of tarps. I got a tarp over top of my tent. And I've got another little living area for the day. The rain looks like it's settling in for an all-day job.
I'm just clearing off a little area to put my stove so I can cook some food, and ran across a crystal clear example of why you should never walk around campsites in your bare feet. So I was clearing the duff away, and what do I find in there? Broken bottle.
Wow. Decided to make it Sunday today. Not quite sure what day it is. I think it's really a Thursday, but it doesn't matter. For me, it's Sunday. So, made up the Sunday breakfast. We got the bacon. We got the eggs with onions, lots of fried onions in there. I got the bannock. Made up a nice bannock. And got some orange. Roughing it in the outdoors at Tamogami.
Well, good morning. Day 105 today. Another rainy day. This is going to be probably just a drizzle day. It's a north wind. Usually just a drizzle rain with north wind. But rained heavy during the night. I wanted to just show you. I had a little rain gauge sitting out here. And it overflowed. So it was quite a bit of rain. I'm sure the forest appreciates all that water.
There. Back in camp.
Got my little power plant working away here. Lantern on the right and my solar panel on the left, and it's charging my 2600 milliamp power bank. It's day 106. I got most of the stuff ready to pack up, just waiting for enough light so that I can see what I'm doing. I don't want to leave anything behind. And getting an early start on the water.
It's about 7:30 now. Sun just crossing the top of a bank of cloud there and casting some light on the west shore. Very pretty. Oh, that's nice. It's not going to last long though. It's going to hit another bank of cloud there, and look at the light on the shoreline there. Just spin that so you can see. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Golden light. Love that golden light. I think I'm going to go right over to that point over there, and then out into the wind from that. But I haven't finished my break yet.
There we are, sailing the Lake Temagami. Just cruising along with absolute minimal effort. Loving it. Life is good. I'm
I'll show you how it goes.
Sailing along the shoreline of Bear Island.
I covered 18 effortless kilometers between the southwest arm and the upper end of Kokoko Bay during my first day of sailing on Lake Temagami. The following day dawned with a beautiful sky that told me to expect rain in the next 24 hours, so I took care of the morning's business and got on the water early.
Beer bag smells like beer. That can't be good. Yeah, this one's leaking. Bummer. Here for breakfast. Yeah, she's leaking away. Jeez, that's a strong beer too. Oh, it's going to be an interesting day today, people. And bon voyage. See you on the flip side.
At the far end of the portage into Kokoko Lake, I paused for a quick breakfast. It wasn't long before I unfurled the sail again for a relaxing ride up the lake.
So we're clocking along doing about 5 k's an hour here. And no effort whatsoever. My buddy Big White. Lots of these big white pines around Lake Temagami because of the shoreline reserve, which is an area, well, whatever you can see from the lake has never been cut. So there's a lot of old growth on the shores of Lake Tamogami.
The weather is looking very unsettled this week. And it's an actual veritable show. So I'm not sure all the things that I wanted to do, hiking, paddling all over the lake, I don't know how much of that's going to happen. There's some big wind later today, tomorrow. Thunderstorms tomorrow. And then an all-day rain on Wednesday. So I don't know what the heck is going on.
I'm on the trail going up to the top of Devil Mountain. And I had forgotten just how steep this trail is. Probably 20 years ago when I first came up. And holy heart attack. It's a steep one. I'm up here now 107 meters from shore, and I already had to take a break.
And this next section, I'm going to try filming this, but I'm going to probably need both hands because this is whacked. Oh man, look at that. That's completely vertical. Like, holy, I'm almost falling backwards here. Oh, it goes on like this. Wow. Okay. You're kidding me. So here we go. Up there. Up there. This little hike up to take a picture turned into a freaking adventure. I gotta come down this. I just thought about that. It's a good thing there's all these root handholds here. Wow. So, that's a bit of a stretch for a hiking trail for an old guy. Quite the views opening up here. And more upwards. Here we are, finally approaching the lookout. This is Tamogami. Found a more civilized way down. This is the way I came up before. So it turns out there is an uphill on the way back. Finally at the downhill, and a much more moderate downhill than the way up. I take that back about this being more moderate. I really am starting to be an old guy. Yeeks. Well, good morning. Day 109 today, and I'm gonna move camp. I'm gonna pack up and move over to the other side of the lake, maybe a bit north. Got some more weather moving in for a day or two, and so I want to get into a better spot. Oh, we might be looking at a friggin' portage.
maybe not. There's a little channel on the left there. It looks like it might be solo canoe size. And yes, it is. Nice. It's a nice little spot right here to just have a drink and a puff. There we go. Oh, this is the way to travel. It's slower than paddling, but very enjoyable. So there's the guys from Waterloo on their way, and I was just waiting here for them to clear the campsite. So now I'll go over, get myself set up, and home sweet home. Sounds like something's moving in. Boy, that one came on fast. I hope the guys from Waterloo dodged that one. Wow. Just got the tarp up in time. The tarp up, the tent in. And I was just doing the interior of the tent. And boom! Down she comes. Half of my stuff is still over by the boat. Boat's still in the water. Had to get all that over here, flip the boat, get it under cover. Wow, a little bit of scrambling. That's okay, that's good. Everything is good. And I got caught. I had my solar panel sitting out on the rock there with my power bank hacked up. I forgot all about it. Had everything under here, and then suddenly I remember, oh man, electric's in the water. Ooh. I got out and got it, and I think it's okay. I'm not going to try it for a while. This storm, it doesn't seem to be going to last, because I can see it's still booming, but it's bright over there. Because it's not really where the thunderstorm's coming from, it's coming there. Oh no, there's lots more of it. Yeah, lots more where that came from. I picked up a new feather for the hat. Old man's beard, they call that. I got a monster on my tarp. Something tells me I might be in for another one. And the rain is coming in. I'm heading for the tarp. Thunderstorm number 2. Oh, it's nice to be in a good spot when these things roll through. The rain is over for now, and the sun coming out. I can see blue skies down there, and see more clouds in there. So it's a mixed bag. But right now, it's beautiful. Still, quiet, warm, and green. Everything is really green after the rain. I should probably think about making supper soon. Wowzers! Gonna be another damp night. That's okay. Got a real good setup here, so not worried at all.
It's laundry day on Phantasy 6.5 land. This is my little washing machine. I scrub a clothes washer laundry machine and all my clean laundry.
Giant pines. In the land of the giants. Big boys. See a butte? Yep. This is Tamogami. I mean, that's what I really think cathedrals are meant to mimic. When you look at the giant columns that are in the most magnificent cathedrals, they really don't compare with something like this that's actually alive. This here is Tamogami. It's getting a little windy out there. I wanted to do some fishing just out here, but way too windy. Just get blown around. There she goes. Slowly, slowly, oh, the water's a-boiling. Wind is rising early today. Not even 7. What time is it now? 6:30. The wind's picking up already? Oh, it's gonna be a windy day. So today mostly sunny. Right now 9 degrees. Yeah, I got 10 in the tent. Going up to 20. West-northwest at 15 k's today. Yeah, by tonight there'll be a southwest, south-southwest wind. That's what I'm looking at tomorrow. Oh, stiff too. Holy shit. 31 kilometers an hour. Wow. Not going to be moving too far with that kind of wind. Time for one last check of the campsite.
Somehow, I managed to overlook the 25-foot ridge rope that had supported my tarp. Note to self, avoid green rope.
There we go. Yippity-doo. Oh, what's that? Yeah, pictographs. Pictographies. And there. And there. Faint one there. Faint one there. They're all very, very faint. More just like red smudges. Can't really make out what they are. Huh. A little concerned about crossing Devil Bay up ahead here. It's a notoriously windy stretch of water. I want to get out a little bit further and then I'm going to do a wind ferry across. Oh, that was a good one. I went a bit too deep into the bay. I have to backtrack and... Oh, that's the point there. Oh, okay. Let's crank her around and try going this way. Oh, corkscrew tailwind. Quartering on the stern is the hardest wind condition to manage. The canoe wants to turn into the wind all the time. Once I get past this next point though, that should be the end of the stress for the day. I think we'll be mostly in the lee the rest of the day. Jeez, bring her around, Polly. Bring her around. Yeah, that's it. Keep her going. So we're back to sailing again. Sailing across the top end of Granny Bay. There we go. There you go, Polly. Pick it up. Away you go. Approaching Seal Rock Point. And this will probably be the end of my sailing for today. Seal Rock Point. And there's a campsite there. But jeebers, can you imagine having that beacon flashing all night long? Okay. I think she's... yeah, time to stow the sail. Looks like a very nice campsite.
Although I was tempted to stay at this site, I decided to move on as I wanted to be closer to the hub area of the lake before the big winds that were forecasted kicked in.
What a lovely view. Oh, here we are. Some more pictographs. Yeah, this one here looks a little bit like a thunderbird on its side. Yeah, this one looks like a canoe. Pictographs of Tamogami, Lake Temagami. Right there. Neat.
I encountered my third pictograph gallery of the day shortly before pulling into camp near Rabbit Nose Island.
I'm going to show you around camp here. This is kind of the main camp area. Large, open, lots of views to the east. And then up here, there's a huge place to put tents.
And out this way, we go into the deep dark forest. Big red. And there he is, big red. Up into the sky. Big white. Holy smokes, he's a big boy. He is a big boy. Or girl, I don't know how you tell. The roots of these pines astound me. I've been looking at them for days, the live ones. And the root systems, you know, to support that towering weight. And what they have to dig into. Because underneath here, there's not a whole lot of dirt. It's pretty much like that. The rock underneath here. It's a hard country.
Suckers are getting down. Not a whole lot in here. I got turkey curry, black beans and rice with pulled pork, beef brisket mash and broccoli. That is tempting. Meatloaf and a couple of commercial. I got a fettuccine alfredo and a creamy bacon carbonara. I think the beef brisket wins out tonight. Of course, the famous Tamogami fruit cocktail, this one is special because it's loaded. Look at that. Those are all wild strawberries from my own secret strawberry patch. Wild strawberry patch beyond belief. I've gone there and picked actual yogurt containers. One time I went there, a couple of hours, picked 2 yogurt containers full of wild strawberries. Unbelievable. Now, it's bon appetit time. I'm going to retire to the porch and enjoy Sunday dinner. There's something you don't see every day. There's a barge towing 16 canoes. The barge itself is loaded with canoes. Pretty severely windbound today. Big waves, way too big for a canoe. So the tarp's all rigged. We're ready for whatever comes in. Come on, I'll give you a look at this little wind shed. Comfy, cozy, dry, no wind at all right here. Day 113 today, and I'm trying to figure out what to do about my food drop. Brrr. Don't know what to do. Got some thinking to do. Looks like the rain that was forecast for today may not be happening. Earlier I was watching the clouds were moving south and east of us, although there's something brewing over in the northeast or northwest, and there are thunderstorms in the forecast, so that could be it. Anyways, I got some thinking to do and figuring. So the wind is changing, swinging around to the north-northwest. I'm going to flip this tarp arrangement around.
Yesterday waves are crashing in here. Today, dead calm right here. Howling wind out on the lake. I watched a boat way down the south end sending sprays of water. God, I don't know how high they must have been, 15, 20 feet, because he was a long, long way away. I could see these big towering splashes. Wouldn't want to be him. So here we are, day 113, and fall is upon us. Temperature change. Camp has taken a different appearance. Well, not appearance, different feel. It's freezing. So a little tent there, all soaked up, and this is my little oasis of calm. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my little stick stove fired up. Get a little bit of glow going. Load up the box with little sticks. And we'll toss a couple of these small maple logs on there. There we go. Oh, this is nice. And super efficient. I can get 2 hours of burn time out of a 2-foot section of spruce. It's about an hour a foot. There, takes a little bit of perseverance. Just look at that stuff.
That little puppy's kept me warm all day long. I got some red pine and some white birch. And with this shelter, wind shelter, the heat from that actually warms us up. I don't really need this on in here. It's quite cozy. We're into September now. Wind chill starts meaning something real soon. Yuck. And I'm noticing sunrise and sunset is getting very close to being east and west. That's High Rock Island and the lookout. You can see the red cliffs. Well, they're not really red, but they are right now. With the last rays of the sun. So I'm hanging out in the hammock back here, and I'm trying to forget what I just found out. So I was just out for a little paddle a while ago, and I kept having to mop up a little bit of bilge water underneath my right knee. And then when I pulled up on a little island for a while, I mopped it up and no more came out until I got back in the water, and then it started seeping out. So I get back to camp and turn the boat over, and sure enough, I put a crack in the friggin' thing somewhere along the way in the last day or two. I think it was actually just back over here, coming in. Instead of coming out the whole channel, I snuck through behind the back of that island, and the channel really wasn't a channel, so it was less than a channel, a bit of a lift over a bunch of rocks, and yeah, this is what we got. A nasty crack in there. Yikes. So, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that. I'm certainly gonna tape it up. But here's the thing. Do I keep going with that boat? I have another canoe at home I could use instead, but it's not really rigged for tripping. So it'd take a day or two to get it, take a day to get it rigged up into shape. That's not a great boat for, like, it's a straight ahead boat. Not a particularly maneuverable boat. I gotta think about this. I think I'm gonna take my last beer and go off to that hammock over there. And there's a bag of cans with one, oh, nice cool steam whistle. See, I use this evaporative cooling. So you always soak the bag, keep that bag soaked. And then if you hang it in the shade, in the wind, I feel that. That's actually a refreshingly cold beer. Oh, yeah. Okay. To the shade we go. Yum. Yum. Instead of taking my food resupply in Tamogami as scheduled, I arranged a pickup so that I could deal with that cracked canoe. If I couldn't get it repaired immediately, I'd have to rig my backup canoe for tripping. A couple of things had been going wrong. I gotta fix my Zoleo satellite communicator. I scrambled the account, the app account, by connecting two devices using the same phone number. So I've got to do a complete reset on my account. I also have to figure out what I'm going to do about that cracked canoe. Today I got home, I've done laundry, I had a bath. So the next few days are going to be pretty action-packed. I've got a lot of work to do to get turned around. I got all my food set, so that's not going to be a big deal. It's a matter of packing it in a bag and away we go. And same thing, I'm going to change up some of my clothes, put a couple of warmer things in there. The nights, the mornings are starting to get cool. I'm going to try and get hold of my canoe doctor. Give him a call tonight, see if I can get hold of him tonight. Maybe I can pay him a visit tomorrow and get a prognosis on this poor aging canoe. Day 118 today, and I just got some good news. My canoe is fixed, ready for pickup. My canoe doctor, he is good. Arrived from Vancouver Monday night. Looked at the boat Tuesday morning. Yeah, so right there.
Yeah, so I'll grind that out and bigger and put in at least 2 layers of glass. Epoxy that all in, feather it out, and get you back on the water.
Sweet. And here we are Thursday afternoon, and it's just things are drying up, and I'll take it in the morning. Formulated a plan B, which I'm going to follow through on, and that was to go to the changing of the season ceremony on Obabaka Lake, back up where I spent a couple of weeks with Alex back in the spring. So it'll be good to see Alex again, and see a bunch of old friends at the same time too. And then early next week, back on with the rest of Phantasy 6.5 eastward to Lake Temagami, and that'll be the next leg. Talk soon.